The WNBA just became must-see TV, not for the basketball, not for the buzzer beaters, but for the full-on soap opera erupting courtside. And once again, its star is none other than Angel Reese. The headlines used to be about her now they're about double standards, double attitudes, and a double helping of sideline chaos. What should have been just another heated contest between the Chicago Sky and Washington Mystics turned into a viral firestorm after Reese, in a fit of rage, smacked the clipboard out of her assistant coach's hands on national television. And the reaction? Nothing. No suspension. No fine. No accountability. Just more silence from the same league that can't seem to decide whether it's running a basketball organization or a reality TV studio. Let's not sugarcoat this. What we witnessed wasn't passion. It wasn't leadership. It was a total meltdown. A high-profile player, in the middle of crunch time, taking her frustrations out on her own coaching staff like a spoiled celebrity, flipping tables in a restaurant. The kind of disrespect we saw would have sent any other player to the locker room indefinitely. But for Angel Reese, it's just Tuesday. And she's not even hiding it anymore. The clip went viral within minutes. There she was, Angel Barbie Reese, the self-styled icon of Chicago Sky basketball, exploding on the sideline like a shaken soda bottle at a science fair. The assistant coach barely had time to blink before the clipboard was snatched and slapped to the ground like it owed Angel rent. Fans gasped. Commentators stammered. The bench, shell-shocked, nobody knew whether to call a timeout or a therapist. But Reese, she stormed off like the hero of her own drama, as if slapping office supplies were part of her pregame ritual. And here's the kicker. This wasn't even triggered by a bad call. Her team had committed a foul in a close moment, and instead of regrouping, Angel Reese chose violence. Not literally, but close enough to leave people asking, where does it end? Because this isn't a first offense. This is the latest entry in what's becoming a long, ugly highlight reel of sideline eruptions, press conference meltdowns, and temper tantrums. People are finally starting to say it out loud. Angel Reese might be talented, but she's also the most toxic player in the league right now. Let's rewind a bit. Just weeks ago, Reese was making headlines for calling out the referees. We only shot 2 free throws going into the fourth quarter, she complained. I talked to the officials, and one told me it's not her job. That's cheap. And I don't give a damn if I get fined. I'm tired. Tired. We're all tired. Tired of watching the same pattern unfold again and again. Reese doesn't get her way. She lashes out, and the league shrugs it off because she's good for engagement. And the fans, they're splitting down the middle like it's the damn Civil War. One camp sees a fearless, passionate young woman fighting for respect. The other sees a grown athlete throwing tantrums like she's auditioning for a Real Housewives spin-off. Team Clipboard or Team Chaos, there is no in-between. The Chicago Sky, meanwhile, are in freefall. Despite Reese's numbers, despite her growing fame, the team can't seem to string together wins. And while some point to questionable officiating, others can't ignore the more glaring issue when your team leader is emotionally unstable on the court. You don't win games, you implode. Just like they did against the Mystics. It would almost be funny if it wasn't so sad. There's an assistant coach out there who showed up thinking this would be just another game, just another night of drawing up plays and hoping to sneak out a win. And instead, they got publicly humiliated by the very player they're supposed to be helping succeed. 1 second, they're holding a clipboard. The next, it's flying through the air like a prop in a WWE match. And what does the league do? They hand Reese more spotlight, more press, more social media buzz. Because controversy is currency. And in today's WNBA, viral tantrums matter more than team chemistry. Let's talk about those free throws. Angel Reese went to the line 15 times. 15. That's not basketball. That's a religious experience. That's divine intervention. That's what happens when the league bends over backward to protect its headline acts. Meanwhile, other players can't even get a whistle for a headlock. You know something's wrong when fans are asking if the officiating crew had Angel Reese jerseys under their uniforms. If Caitlin Clark had done even 1/10 of what Reese did, if she had slapped a clipboard out of a coach's hands, we'd be watching a televised tribunal right now. ESPN would have rented out a church. Stephen A. Smith would be halfway through a sermon. There'd be think pieces, op-eds, and player panels dissecting every second of it. But Angel Reese, she gets praise, she gets flowers, she gets the ultimate WNBA participation trophy. A highlight reel on loop and a gently worded, "we'll handle it" internally statement from the front office. And still, no suspension. Let that sink in. What kind of message does that send? That you can disrespect your coaches on national TV and walk away with a bigger fan base than ever before. That the league is more concerned with trending on TikTok than upholding professional standards. That if you bring in clicks, you're untouchable. The sad truth is, yes, we're not watching sports anymore. We're watching curated chaos. The scoreboard is secondary. The real game is about who can manufacture the most drama in the shortest amount of time, and Angel Reese is winning that game in a landslide. She's not just the face of the Chicago Sky, she's the face of the WNBA's transformation into a circus. Every outburst, every meltdown, every time she goes full WWE on a coaching staff member, she's rewarded, not punished. It's not passion. It's ego in a jersey. A full-on spectacle fueled by the knowledge that she can act out without consequences, that she can create a scene, walk away, and still be called a role model by half the fan base. And don't you dare criticize her unless you're ready to be mobbed by the Angel Reese Defense Brigade, who treat every clipboard slap like a civil rights victory. This isn't empowerment. This is narcissism wrapped in glitter and athletic tape, and the longer the WNBA pretends it's not happening, the worse it's going to get. Because there are players, good players, professional players, who are watching this unfold, and they're asking themselves, why am I following the rules? Why am I respecting my coaches? Why am I not throwing a fit every time something doesn't go my way? Because clearly, that's how you get ahead. Now, the WNBA isn't just enabling bad behavior, it's glamorizing it. And the result is a league teetering on the edge of a full-blown credibility crisis. Let's be honest. If this were the NBA, if LeBron James slapped a clipboard out of Darvin Ham's hands, there'd be fines, suspensions, and possibly a trade demand by Sunrise. But in the WNBA, it's called competitive spirit. As if being a jerk is now a marketable skill. And what does this mean for the Chicago Sky? Well, imagine being a rookie on that team. Imagine walking into practice the next day, wondering if your playbook is going to be airborne by lunchtime. The coaches aren't leading, they're dodging. The players aren't bonding, they're bracing. And the fans, they're just trying to remember what it was like to root for a team, not a train wreck. Angel Reese has become the eye of a storm she created. Every week brings a new explosion, a new drama, a new moment where she reminds everyone that she's bigger than the game. And the league, desperate for relevance, keeps handing her more matches. Where does this end? At this rate, with the 10-part docuseries on Angel Reese, Untouchable, coming soon to a streaming service near you. Brought to you by the same network that will one day give her a talk show titled Courtside and Unbothered. And you know what? It'll probably be a hit. Because drama sells. And right now, the WNBA is selling out faster than a courtside seat at a Clark vs. Reese matchup. The assistant coach forgotten the actual game. Irrelevant. What matters now is how many impressions. This moment generates how many jerseys get sold, how many comment sections catch fire, and when someone finally dares to say, hey, maybe that wasn't okay, they'll be drowned out by a sea of hashtags and dance edits. Because the league no longer runs on principles, it runs on vibes. What we saw wasn't just a meltdown, it was a moment that confirmed the WNBA is no longer about basketball. It's about who can go viral the fastest. And right now, Angel Reese is undefeated. What do you think? Did Angel Reese go too far? Should the league hold her accountable, or is this just passion in the modern game? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more uncensored deep dives into the wild world of sports drama.